Good morning. Globally, markets and policymakers are grappling with a new bout of uncertainty as the technological revolution, especially artificial intelligence, collides with the global economy. The Financial Times reports a fresh wave of selling in U.S. software and private capital-linked shares, with banks also sliding, as investors reassess how quickly AI could disrupt established enterprise software business models. Franklin Templeton, CEO, has warned that AI threatens parts of the enterprise software sector, and the leveraged loan market is being watched closely for stress signals as credit investors reprice risk around highly leveraged tech exposures. On global conflict, Ukraine's war is entering its fifth year. The BBC reports Russia is increasingly feeling the economic consequences of the conflict, while Ukraine's negotiators describe the strain of sitting across the table from Russia as diplomacy continues alongside ongoing fighting. The Financial Times also highlights how drones are reshaping the front line into a kill zone, accelerating a shift in modern warfare that has implications well beyond Eastern Europe. In the Middle East, Al Jazeera reports diplomacy continues between the U.S. and Iran, but against the backdrop of a significant U.S. military buildup, raising questions about whether the two sides are moving closer to open conflict. In North America, trade policy is again a major economic risk. Al Jazeera reports President Trump's new tariff threats are triggering uncertainty, with stalled trade deals and a proposed 15% tariff via Section 122 following a U.S. Supreme Court ruling against Trump. Separately, the BBC reports a man was killed by the Secret Service after entering the secure perimeter of Trump's residence, with officers saying he was carrying a shotgun and a fuel can. In Mexico, security concerns have escalated sharply. The BBC and SBS report retaliatory violence across multiple states following the killing of a top cartel leader, with SBS noting Australians considering travel have been urged to exercise a high degree of caution. Turning to Australia, foreign policy and Commonwealth politics are in focus. ABC reports Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney will travel to Australia to deepen ties on trade, defence and critical minerals, as Canada looks to reduce reliance on the United States. Domestically, The Guardian reports the Prime Minister plans to write to other Commonwealth nations to outline Australia's position supporting moves to remove Andrew Mountbatten Windsor from the line of succession, following developments in the UK link to the Epstein files. SBS also reports UK police have arrested former US Ambassador Peter Mandelson in a misconduct probe stemming from Epstein-related revelations. On Australian government policy and politics, SBS reports the coalition's proposal to designate terrorist hotspots is drawing legal scrutiny, with experts questioning how it would operate under Australian law. On the Australian economy and the share market, a key corporate and regulatory development is in Western Australia. ABC reports Alcoa is under investigation over further alleged tree clearing breaches, just days after a $55 million fine for unlawfully clearing Jarrah Forest, raising fresh questions about compliance with its agreement with the WA government and potential implications for approvals and operating conditions. In local and community news, SBS reports homicide detectives are investigating a distressing death at a mental hospital, as a union renews calls for action on staffing and safety. And on the Gold Coast, SBS reports a Trump Tower proposal is being touted as Australia's tallest building at 91 stories, though it remains far from approved. That's the latest material developments to start your day.